What's going on, everybody? Welcome to a new little segment we're doing here on Pretty Lies and Alibis. I'm Gigi. Fruit Loop, how are you?
I'm good.
Before we get started.
Yep.
So, you wanted to start doing one missing person case a week every Saturday.
Yeah. So we get all these people send us, look at this case, look at this missing person. We did the missing persons, the gentleman who was missing in Arizona, right?
Yeah, Daniel Robinson. And
Yeah.
there was actually some new stuff about that. They have just released that the car, they think maybe, remember there was a crash. They think maybe it had accelerated to go up a ravine, like I guess a hill or
Mm.
like I don't know, a ravine's down, right?
Uh, well,
Anyways,
it could be up.
okay, so maybe like to go up and then it may have tipped over, but yeah, he's still missing. And we've covered some missing kids, Orson West out of California. Still nothing on those poor boys. It's been nearly a year. December
Yeah.
will be a year. Summer Wells in Tennessee, still nothing about her. Her father
Yeah.
was arrested for DUI last week or maybe earlier this week, and then they arrested him on a violation of probation, but nothing about the search for her. And, for me as a mom, this is the stuff nightmares are made of.
Yeah. Yeah. It's seriously, it's why we took my niece to New York one time. We held her hand the whole time. She's like, "Why are you holding my hand?" And we're like, "You're in New York. It's a lot of people here. There's a lot of people."
It not only just to take somebody, but it's easy to just lose somebody. I've
Yeah.
been in the city a bunch, and you turn around, if you're in a big crowd, you can lose the adult human you're with. It's
Yeah.
like, so with kids, it's a whole other worry when you're around a ton of people. I get it. I was
Yeah.
always that way when my kids were in New York with me. So this weekend, we are going to talk about Kristen Galvan. And she is from Spring, Texas, and she is 17 years old now. So she was 15 when she went missing.
Yep.
And this was 2 years ago. So she has been gone for 2 years. She's 5'6", or was at the time she went missing, may have had probably no little growth spurt, because a lot of times you can hit one about 15, 16, your last one. 135 pounds, blonde hair, hazel eyes. Her appearance could be altered, and we're going to put pictures up on all of our social media accounts. That'll be Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.
Yep.
So that way, and then on YouTube, we are going to start, once we figure out how, putting the picture of whoever we're talking about up as we're talking. But Fruit Loop, why don't you go ahead and tell us because you've been in touch with her mom.
Yeah, yeah. I've spoken to her mom off and on all day. Her mom has a YouTube channel that she shares a lot of information with. Fireball, like she's on it. Like she's right now she's rescuing people out of human trafficking in Houston.
Wow.
So she's trying. I mean, and she was emotional. She wants somebody to find her daughter. Like she's finding people and helping them. So just to give you a little bit of a timeline, so January 1st, 2020, they're at her grandparents for New Year's Day. They have a normal day, everything's fine. Around 7:30, they leave to go get ice cream, and Kristen stays with her grandfather. So when I guess they get back, everybody's kind of just doing their own thing. The grandfather realizes, oh wait, she's not here. So the family gets in a little panic, starts looking for her, can't find her. Somehow checks her messages, sees that she's been talking to somebody they don't know. So her family says that someone lured her out of the home, and they have not seen her since. Um, her mom says she was a sweet teenager, good student. She was in junior ROTC on the drill team, just good kid. So they're now the FBI is involved. Special Agent Bethany Morris stated that because Kristin is a possible victim of human trafficking, this means her life could be in danger. And kind of, we're going to give you information on who to call or whatever, because we know our listener base is pretty big. So FBI comes up to the mom a few months later and shows her a picture and says, "Is this your daughter?" And she's like, "Yes, that's her." So her mom starts getting on these sites and looking for her daughter. And it's just sickening to think that these things are out there.
Yeah.
So she gets on, starts looking for her daughter, finds a photo of her, and she's being sold out of Atlanta, Georgia, which is near us.
Wow.
She gets on a plane, goes to Atlanta, takes posters, trying to find her, ask anybody if they've seen her. And she's still missing. So that's kind of the backstory. Um, the if
Didn't you say that the mom went online as well and saw a picture of her?
Yeah, yeah, and that's when she flew to Atlanta. Like,
Oh
she
my
saw her. It was her and another young lady they were selling together, I guess. It's just sickening.
It is. I can't even wrap my head around it. I mean, I can't imagine losing somebody in a traumatic way, like an accident or murder, things like that. To not know too where your baby is, even
Yeah.
if they're teenager, 20, 30s, all you parents know they're your babies. It doesn't matter. I think I don't know how I could breathe.
No.
And then you think that we've got men, women, and children being treated as property,
Yep.
as something you sell, and in the worst way, because there's no minimum age for this sickness. It's all ages, all races, everything. And these poor humans are just property to people. And I can't even imagine.
Yep. So her mom said there are 3 gentlemen that were arrested, and technically they can't do anything about it right now because they haven't found her.
Mm.
So these guys are in jail on some other charges, I guess. 2 of them are still in, 1 is out. But this mom is going in and just helping, and she had saved a 12-year-old girl.
Wow.
And I can't imagine. Sarah's
Oh,
what?
she's 10.
Yeah, that these 12-year-olds are being trafficked. It's so scary and just sickening.
And my
Um,
oldest is pretty close to the age of this girl we're talking about. It is
yeah,
very scary. And I've always preached, you don't talk to anybody online you don't know, because it's different than when you and I were kids. The first time I saw the internet was at your house, like after high school.
yeah,
We
we were
didn't
on
have
AOL.
I know we just thought it was so cool. We could sit there and
Mhm.
type to people across the country or across the world. It's
Yeah,
entirely different now. Everything's online.
yep.
And it's
So
you
yeah,
got to watch your kids. You got to make sure you know where they're going online, and but it can happen so easily because these people are professionals at grooming and
yep,
telling not just kids but adults what they want to hear. They prey on vulnerable adults too. I think a lot of times people that are financially desperate, and they get promised stuff, and I just
yeah, yep.
oh, I mean,
So
good for the mom to be going out and rescuing other people while her daughter is still probably in the throes of this. I mean, that speaks volumes about her character.
oh yeah, yeah. Her name is Robin. Her mom's name's Robin. And we can share her YouTube channel. You can get more information. She's doing a ton of videos now. It's graphic. Like, she ain't playing. Like, she's serious. Who she's calling out,
I think we
and
have to get uncomfortable
yep,
because what these victims are going through is one of the worst things you can go through. So, good for her for putting it out there,
yeah,
because these days things are watered down on the news.
yeah,
And in reality, if we really knew how this stuff worked, we would all be out searching. I think we need to get a fire lit underneath us.
yep. So if you have any information related to her whereabouts, they're asking to please contact NCMEC, which is a National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, at 1-800 The Lost. And for this case, you can also contact Montgomery County Sheriff's Office at 936-760-5800.
Yeah, well, we'll just hope to goodness we get some good news about her.
Yep.
And I thanks to Robin for talking to you today, because clearly she wants a good outcome, not only for her daughter but for so many others.
Yeah, she wants her kid back. In this industry, they make more than Nike, Google. It's like Starbucks. Like, it's like 4 or 5 large companies. It's like over a $500 billion industry or something. It's crazy.
And it's humans.
Yes, and we're talking about kids. These are our kids.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I
So
think the thing too is just as big as this is now, I mean, we're all kind of at risk. That's why we have to be very vigilant with our kids and know who they're talking to online, who they're texting. I tell my kids, if I'm paying your phone bill, if I need to see your phone, I'm going to see your phone.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not somebody that invades their privacy. They're good kids, but at the same time, I have little apps on my phone they don't know about that ping me when things get, and luckily it doesn't really happen. But,
Yeah.
you can't be too careful when it comes to your babies because when
No.
they're gone, the chances of you ever seeing your kid again once they're taken from you are so small. We had that case over in Australia, the little girl Cleo that was
Mhm.
found alive.
Yeah.
But that's such a rarity, unfortunately.
Mhm.
So we just got to be aware, guys. We got to make sure we're getting these stories out, getting their faces out there, and that's what we're going to do every Saturday. I think Fruit Loop, you nailed it. It's time for us to do this. It's time to
Yeah.
kind of put the court cases aside and focus on things maybe before they become a crime. At least we can do our or a murder. We hope that
Yeah.
missing people are found alive,
Exactly.
but we're just going to do what we can. We appreciate all of the tips you guys have already sent us about cases you want us to cover. Send them to prettyliesandalibis@gmail.com.
Yeah.
And we're going to try to pick up. We may be able to do, a couple if they're real, if what we know about them is really limited, may
Yep.
be able to fit a couple in each episode, but every Saturday we at least want to try to do one.
Yep.
So, all right, guys. Well, we'll have all of the pictures and videos out on social media. Share them, retweet them, share them with your friends and family. Atlanta's not far from us.
No.
So we know we have a lot of local listeners. I know we have a lot of listeners in Atlanta. So keep your eyes out. If you live in
Yep.
Atlanta and you're in the mall, just keep your eyes
Yeah.
out.
And just remember, her appearance could be altered a little bit. So
Right. So, all right, guys, we will see you soon. Have a good rest of your weekend.